Hey guys, so in this video I want to share with you about finding out about human design and my personal human design energy type, which is a manifestor, and what it's been like knowing that I'm this energy type called the manifestor. What does it mean? And how does it show? How does it play out in day-to-day life? Or is there even a resemblance? Because again, human design is really just a map, it's an experiment. It's not a belief, it's not a dogma. So we choose to try it if we want to and see if it resonates and see if it somehow is in alignment with our life experience. So I initially found out about human design probably, let's start 6 years ago. I had heard about it before, but I didn't really have the desire to know more about it at that point. So 6 years ago was when I was really ready to dive into it and to understand it and to explore it. So I had my personal first reading with a very dear friend of mine, and after that I immediately joined the Living Your Design course with her, to really just understand myself on a much deeper level, and also to understand all of the other energy types in human design. And I remember at that time there was a big shift in my life. I had just left my attempt to live in Germany, my attempted life in Germany, back home where I'm from. After having traveled the world for several years, I tried to settle back there for about a year, and it was just a disaster. I was so miserable, and I started getting physically sick and didn't know why. Every doctor said you're perfectly healthy, and it wasn't until one doctor said to me, there's nothing wrong in your blood tests or anything, and I don't know what else is going on in your life that is causing your body to get sick, but you may want to go on a little bit of an inwards journey. And I'm forever grateful for this doctor. No medications, no prescriptions, no figuring it out, no more tests. You're healthy, figure it out. And after that call with this doctor, I just broke down, crying and crying and crying. It was the proper, eat, pray, love moment, in front of the toilet, on the floor, broken down to pieces. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew I had to change something. So once again, I packed my bags. I left home once again. And I moved to Thailand, where I still am now, 6 years later. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how to support myself, how to earn money. I had a few €100 on my bank account, and I knew that was enough to last me for at least 2 to 3 months. And then I'd have to get my shit together. I'd have to figure it out. But I knew I had to make that move. For whatever reason, I just knew I had to be here. I'd been here before. When I was traveling the world, Thailand was the one country I always came back to. It was like it was pulling me in over and over and over again. And I went to all of these other countries, all of these different places, and Thailand was always calling me home, I guess. So here I am. Another thing that happened in my life was that there was a lot of anger surfacing, and I didn't understand it. I couldn't place it. I was quite overwhelmed with it, and I didn't know what to do with it because I was afraid of it. I'd spent most of my life repressing my anger, and there it was, and it wasn't being repressed anymore. It was just showing up all the time. And finding out about human design and the connection between a manifestor and their anger was something that really pulled me in, that really, I think that was the reason why I wanted to learn more about it, why I wanted to understand myself better. And what I'm here to do, how can I operate in this world in a way that is right for me? Because human design is all about the uniqueness of your own design. There is no design the same. We may share the same energy type, which is the manifestor, or the generator, or the projector, or the reflector. But those are just the overall energy types. Every single design, every single chart within human design is completely 100% unique. There is absolutely no other one like me out there, and no other one like you or the rest of the world out there. So clearly, since I couldn't figure out my own shit, I needed help from something or somewhere. And so after doing the human design, the Living Your Design course, and understanding myself a bit better, my initial reaction was mixed, to be honest. There were very mixed feelings, because the manifestor is described as this, as this huge energy force, the initiator, the one who goes at the front and who makes things happen. It's this powerful force. And while a part of me could always somehow sense that power or that desire within me, there was another part of me that was like, nah, that can't be me, because I wasn't living that way. I didn't show up that way. I didn't use that force. And so I could relate to a lot of my chart, but I also couldn't. It was like she was talking about a version of myself that I would dream about, that I would maybe want to be, but that I wasn't, and I believed I couldn't. My human design manifestor is a 1-3 profile, and I'm an emotional manifestor, which means my emotional center, my emotions, is my authority. And it's all about my emotions. And that is so true. It's always been true in my life. I have always been this deeply, deeply emotional being. And growing up, that was something that I learned to repress, or to not be so much, because I always felt like it was too much for other people. They couldn't handle it, and they don't really like it when I'm too emotional, when I'm expressing my emotions, or when I'm sharing them for their own reasons, in my family, in my environment. I think I gradually learned to not be so emotional, and therefore I could never have my emotions as my authority. And when I started to learn that and to live that way in the last 6 years, it changed everything. It's like I gave myself permission to be emotional. I gave myself permission to be me. Probably for the first time ever since being a little kid. I could just be emotional Sabrina. And I could explore my emotions and allow them to speak through me. And slowly with time to allow them to make the decisions for me, to wait out on my emotional wave, to wait through it, going through all the highs and all the lows. And there's a lot of those, to just let them flow through me. And then have that clarity, that moment of clarity. Yes, that's what I want to initiate. that's what I want to do, or no, that really is not right for me. Maybe not even at this point, maybe at a later point, but right now, it's not right for me. So having that clarity and understanding of myself has been hugely freeing and liberating. And to then act on my impulse. Act to have an impact. Act to put something out there, not to respond or not to be asking for things. To use my voice to initiate what I want to initiate, to speak about the things that are true to me. And to use my voice to have an impact. To really learn what it means to act upon those creative urges that a manifestor is here to initiate. Not to put out, not to fulfill by themselves, but to start it. To birth something new. There was a part of me that didn't want to be that at all. Shit, I don't want to be the one in the spotlight. I don't want to be the one at the front of the row. I want to be in the back. In fact, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be heard. I don't even want to be here. I just want to blend in, please. That was my conditioning. That was the part of me that was terrified and that wanted to hide and that just needed to be, needed to be safe. And I have to say that didn't work for me very well. At all. I lost so much energy. I wasted so much energy trying to work like everybody else, trying to show up like everybody else, trying to have an energy that most people in this world have. Most of the people in the world are generators. They generate their own energy. They have the fuel to keep going, and I was trying to keep up with them. And it was making me miserable and tired. So tired. Eventually it led to exhaustion, chronic fatigue, burnout, the whole lot, of course. Because I couldn't keep up. And again, human design just gave me the permission to rest when I need to rest, to really give myself full permission to understand that my energy level is different to other people. Manifestors are only 9% of the population. We don't have that energy motor. Same like the reflectors and the projectors. But the generators who have that energy motor are over 60%, 70%, I believe it is. 70% of the population are generators. And they are amazing at what they can do. But so are the people without that defined center, like the manifestors, the projectors, and the reflectors, are just as amazing. We just need to find our role in this world. We just need to understand how our unique energy type, how our unique human design chart, how this body is operating in this world to its absolute best. And for me, the last 6 years have been really just that. Learning about the human design, this is where my 1-3 comes in. Investigator, learning all about the human design, and then exploring it, trying it, living the experiment. Is this true or is it not true? Does it work or does it not work? And I can say with absolute certainty that this shit works. This shit is true. It really does. And it's life-changing on so many levels. So ever since I learned about human design, it really has been about researching trial and error, researching, trial and error, over and over again. And it doesn't mean that I've done this every single day for the last 6 years. There have been periods of integration, periods of when I actually almost forgot about human design and everything. But slowly I was noticing that I was really just starting to live my design naturally. And I still am. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still researching. I'm still experimenting with it. It's a never-ending process. But it's the most liberating process I've ever found because it's so accurate. So what does it mean to learn your human design manifestor and to live accordingly, to live as a human design manifestor or any of the other energy types? I so invite you to join the experiment. You've got nothing to lose.